Well, it's that time of year. Cabbage is starting to get ripe in the garden, and I was given this cabbage by my sister-in-law, by Paula and Dave. Paula is Martin's sister. Anyway, they had a huge garden, so they gave me a cabbage, and we're going to make frozen slaw. This recipe was given to me, I'd say in the 70s, and the lady who gave it to me, she was in her 70s, so she had this quite a while, and you've probably already heard of this, but it keeps well. It's a vinegar-based coleslaw, not the mayonnaise. So what I have here, this is not quite a large head of cabbage, so I have a bag of coleslaw, with just the mix. I may have to throw in with this. But you need a large head of cabbage, a green pepper grated, a carrot grated, 1 cup of vinegar, 1 1/2 cup sugar, 1/4 cup water, 1 teaspoon mustard seed, and 1 tablespoon celery seed. Okay, I'm going to start on the cabbage, and you want it cut up but not too fine. Now this cabbage is not really what I would call a large cabbage, so I will probably add some of this. And the reason being, when I make the vinegar base for this coleslaw, it makes a huge amount, so I might as well make more coleslaw while I'm at it. So let's get going on this though. And I just go after it. I just attack it. The lady that gave me this recipe was in her 70s, but she was a school teacher. Well, the funny thing is back then, it would have been the 20s probably, you couldn't be married if you were female and be a school teacher. So she and her husband got married, didn't tell anyone, and they lived in separate houses until she was ready to only be a wife. She was probably having children by that point. Okay, I'm going to keep going at this and we'll see what we end up with, okay? There, that's that head of cabbage done. I think it was probably a medium to a small. I do like to get these out of there. See that? That's that thicker rib that is in there. Oop. Well, I'll pick that up later. See, those are those thicker ribs. And I like to get those out of there. But otherwise, all in all, it's pretty good. I'm going to add my grated carrot and my grated green pepper. Now, if you remember that mix that I have over there, that already has this stuff in it. But let's kind of mix this together, and it'll be all set for the vinegar base when I get that done. In my saucepan, I'm going to put the 1 cup of vinegar. If you heard that beep, that's my bread done. 1 1/2 cup sugar, 1/4 cup water, 1 teaspoon mustard seed, and 1 tablespoon celery seed. Then what you're going to do is put it on the stove on the burner, bring it to a good boil, and let it cool. After it's done cooling, you're going to add it to the cabbage, and then you've got it and you can bag it up for the freezer. Something good to have on a winter day. And by the way, you don't have to raise your own cabbage. Buy one at the store. Okay, I've got this on the stove and about a medium. I might go a little higher. And I'm supposed to bring it to a good boil. I love the instructions. I guess there's a bad boil and there's a very bad boil, but we want a good boil. We don't want a sad boil. I'd say you're going to let it come to a boil, then pull it off. Enough about boiling. I'm going to call that a good boil and take that off and let it cool. You can see I put it in a separate boil, hoping that it would cool a little faster. So we'll let this go for about an hour. Well, it's been an hour and this has cooled off nicely, so I'm just going to start adding some. See how much I want in here, and see if I want to add more cabbage. You know what, I'm going to live on the edge and just put it all in. I think it's going to be fine. And then you know me, there's some goodies there on the side. I have to get those off. Okay, so now we're going to toss this a bit. Oh, it's covered it nicely. Now what I'm going to do is freeze it in regular freezer bags because we will use this quick enough. I don't need to vacuum seal it. And then this is going to go into my manual defrost freezer. So let me finish with this. I want to get it all coated. I'm going to start putting this in bags, and if I still have some some of the vinegar solution on the bottom. I'll add a little bit more cabbage. Let me start on this. Be sure and get this fully coated though. You want to coat it all with that luscious vinegar base. As you can see, I have 3 1/2 bags of coleslaw. Each bag has 2 cups in it. That's just about enough for us. So I still have some liquid in the bottom, so I'm going to add some of this to top it off. I ended up with 5 bags of freezer coleslaw. And it will be good. It is so good when it's snowing out to pull this out of the freezer. By the way, my hands, it makes quite a mess here. My hands are so sticky, I've got to go wash them. Remember, there's sugar in this, and it just makes it real sticky. Well, give this one a try. You don't have to grow cabbage to do this. You can buy your own whole cabbage or use this. Give it a try. I think you'll like it. It is totally different than the mayonnaise-based coleslaw. Let's see what I come up with next time. Until then, bye-bye.